All right, baseball doesn't exist. Let's check it out. Dodgers are about to take over baseball. Hey, yo. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's fuck the Dodgers. I am a Giants fan, so it's only right. That's our rivals type shit. But congrats to Otani for the most part, but it's fuck the Dodgers. I just want to let that be known. But shit, let's check it out.
The Dodgers have a plan. It's going to take decades, but if it works, they'll be the best team, the richest team, a global brand, and
It's
potentially
always good to be informative when it comes to baseball, all sports. A 20-minute video, you already know.
the most valuable franchise in sports, and some people are panicking.
Baseball is going to allow this? This is why baseball's got to have a salary cap. I mean, this is why the sport's a joke.
The Dodgers
No
spent
cap, they need a salary cap. I think they spent like $1 billion.
over $1 billion
$1 billion.
last offseason, more than any
Down
other
here
team
cheating.
in history, and it worked. A former MVP played hurt. Their current MVP played hurt. They had 14 key pitchers who were unavailable throughout the playoffs. Only one of their 5 starters going into the year is healthy enough to pitch right now, yet they just won the World Series and did it easily. The Dodgers were hands down
did do it
the best
easily,
team in baseball this year, but next year, they legitimately might be 2 times better. Shohei Otani is going to pitch again. Their other injured pitchers are going to pitch again. It's possible the best pitcher in Japan is going to be a Dodger next year. And now there's even reports that Juan Soto could be going to Los Angeles, driving some people crazy. So people are
Soto, if you go to the fucking Dodgers, bro. Oh my, bro, you might as well just stay like as a Yankee, bro. Like, trust in the Yankees. Like, ain't no way he leaves. If he does that, that's like KD going to the Warriors.
People are calling for a salary cap.
Hopefully you don't do that, bro. That'll fuck him up.
Pitcher Miles Michaelis called the Dodgers' new strategy, quote, checkbook baseball, and many commentators are saying it's ruining the game. But the Dodgers formula is way more complicated than that. In the past 20 years, their franchise value has increased by an insane 1,089%. But still, they're far behind the Yankees when it comes to value. They're the second most valuable sports franchise in the world. Right behind them are the Warriors and the Patriots. Each of them had one dynasty that took them from average value to being tied for the third most valuable franchise ever, but neither can surpass
Shout
the
the
Yankees.
Warriors,
the
man.
Patriots and Warriors are built
My
on
team.
one dynasty. The Yankees have done that like 6 different times. They had a dynasty in the 20s, then again in the 40s, in the 50s and the 60s, and once again in the mid-90s. They are a generational brand built on decades of dominance. But years ago, the Dodgers set out on a mission to surpass the Yankees in value by creating their own dynasty. And right now, it's working. In Game 1 of the World Series, the Dodgers were in trouble. Yankees ace Garrett Cole was cruising. The Dodgers only had 2 hits through 5 innings. The Yankees went
Dodgers
up, and
dynasty?
the Dodgers
Fuck,
had
bro.
no answer.
Fuck that.
However, an Otani double
I'm a
on
Giants
the
fan
best
too,
sac
bro.
fly
The Giants are
salvaged
gonna win
the game
another
by
World
2-2.
Series.
This
Mark
game
my
went
fucking words, bro. The SF Giants are gonna win another World Series, bro. We just need to sign some dogs. That's all, bro.
to extras.
I know we got some cap space too, or whatever.
This
Or we got some
the
moolah.
Yankees have 2 outs. They just need 1 more out to win this game. They intentionally walk Mookie Betts to face Freddie Freeman, who isn't even supposed to be walking. On the last week of the year, he did this. He was supposed to miss 4 to 6 weeks, but missed 1 week before returning. He's playing through the pain, even though he's still in a walking boot. He's been taping his
Holy
ankle
shit,
over his
I
feet.
never knew
Routine
this.
Plays like this have left him in extreme pain. After this play, the Dodgers had to do a mound visit just to give him time to rest. The Dodgers already forced him to miss a game this postseason because he was so limited. He has
Holy
0
shit.
power or speed. He hasn't hit an extra inning base hit in a month.
And he was
But
the
down
MVP,
by
I think.
1, down to their last out on the very first pitch he sees.
Freeman hits the ball right field.
Swampy.
This was the
Holy
first
shit.
walk-off grand slam in World Series history. The only other time in history a player hit a walk-off homer down to their last out and losing the game was over 30 years ago. He was also on the Dodgers. It also happened in Game 1. He was also famously injured and could not walk, and somehow both these home runs were hit at 8:37 p.m. local time. The Dodgers
No
continued to dominate. They
way.
went up 3-0 in this series. When the Yankees
crazy how the
finally
fucking
got the
universe
Yankees
works, bro.
5-0 in Game
Holy
5,
shit.
a routine fly ball to Aaron Judge was dropped. 15 minutes later, a ground ball to the shortstop was botched. Then, only needing 1 more out, Garrett Cole got Mookie Betts to roll over and forgot to cover first. In one of the biggest single-inning collapses in World Series history, the Yankees allowed 5 unearned runs, blew a 5-0 lead in 1 inning, went from a 96% chance win probability
Aaron Judge should be
to
a fucking shame of himself, bro. How do you not catch that? Like, fuck, bro. That just
as
pissed
the
me
Dodgers
off.
won their second World
Just
Series
seeing
in
his
5
face,
years,
bro.
winning 3 championships in
Bro,
5
isn't
years
into
is
shit
the
either.
definition of a sports dynasty for many. So under that definition, the Dodgers were already close to being a dynasty. In the past 12 years, they've made the playoffs 12 times, more than any other team, won their division 11 times, more than any other team, had the best record in baseball 4 times, more than any other team, had the best ERA in baseball 4 times, more than any other team, and made the World Series 4 times. That's more than any other team. However, the Dodgers were never able to surpass the Astros' success during this decade and disappointed in the playoffs year after year, meaning they were never able to actually achieve dynasty level status, which in MLB is basically impossible. It's been over 2 decades since a team was able to win just 2 World Series in a row. In the past decade, 4
SF Giants, didn't they win 5 in like 7 years? Or okay, not 5, but 3 in 7 years. Fuck, my bad.
The World Series and 9 different
I
teams
think
have
the
won the World
SF
Series.
Giants
That's
were a
more than
fucking
any
dynasty.
other sport. The last true dynasty were these legendary Yankees teams who won 4 World Series in 8 years, but that dynasty started almost 30 years ago. Even the Giants, who won 3 in 5 years, weren't even good enough to make the playoffs in the 2 seasons where they didn't win it. The Dodgers, however, are about to become more dominant than both these teams, and this new dynasty started last offseason when they gave the best player in baseball $700 million, the biggest contract in sports history. $700 million is more than the value of entire sports franchises. The Dodgers gave it to one player. It is $274 million more than the second largest contract in MLB. For any other team in any other time in MLB history, this would be risky. You get the best player in baseball, but he's injured, and after spending $700 million, you don't have any other money left to give to other players. But for the Dodgers, in some sick and twisted way, giving $700 million to Shohei is actually going to allow them to spend more money, because just 1 week after signing Shohei, they gave Yoshinobu Yamamoto $325 million, the biggest pitching contract ever, completing step 1 of their plan, taking over Japan. Baseball is likely more popular in Japan right now than any other place on earth. Their last WBC game in Japan in 2023 got over 60 million viewers in Japan.
Hey, that's smart as fuck, though. Hey, Dodgers, that's a high IQ play right there.
36 million watch them play in an exhibition game. Shohei Otani is literally the most famous person in Japan right now. Yamamoto was on pace to become hands down the most decorated Japanese pitcher in history.
Bruh, if you think about it, like, Shohei over there is like Cristiano Ronaldo type shit. I don't know how to explain it, bro, but he's like he's global, bro, I guess, type shit.
Now, both are on the Dodgers, instantly turning the entire country of Japan, a population of 125 million people, into die-hard Dodgers fans. Just this year, the Dodgers got 12 new team sponsors. All 12 are Japanese countries. They've generated an extra $50 million in sponsorships just from Japan. Otani's first game as a Dodger got 17 million viewers in Japan, 37 times more viewers than it got in America. This game got more viewers in Japan than the World Series got in America.
Shit.
Like, all these games airing at 9 a.m. in Japan. A Dodgers NLDS game got 14 million viewers in Japan. That's more than the game got in America. A Dodgers NLCS game got 12 million in Japan. That's more than it got in America. The World Series got 15 million in Japan. Even that was slightly more than it got in America. One report says that with ticket sales, merchandise, sponsorships, etc., Otani made the Angels $70 million in 2023 before he threw a single pitch. The Dodgers, who have a significantly richer history, bigger fan base, bigger brand, and just won a World Series, realistically could have doubled the $70 million the Angels made, easily covering the $70 million a year salary they pay Shohei before he threw a single pitch. The craziest part is the Dodgers didn't even pay Shohei Otani $70 million this year. They paid him $2 million. But before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor. Believe it or not, flavored air is becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking, and it's led by Fume. Fume is a flavored air device designed for anyone who's looking to break away from bad habits.
Fuck, bro, I zoned out for a second. My bad. Don't smoke that shit, by the way. What the fuck? What is that?
Insider estimates Tom Brady took $60 million in pay cuts throughout his career, so the Patriots could sign more players and continued their dynasty. Otani did this in a way that's way more controversial. According to his 10-year, $700 million contract, Otani should be getting paid $70 million a year until 2034.
Right.
However, he decided to defer 97% of it, meaning instead of getting paid $70 million a year for the rest of his contract, he will get paid $2 million a year for the rest of his contract. And once his contract ends in 2034, then the Dodgers will start paying him, making $68 million a year for 10 years starting in 2034. This saves $1 million
Wait, I zoned out there, my bad.
then the Dodgers will start paying contract. And once his contract ends in 2034, then the Dodgers will start paying him, making $68 million a year for 10 years starting in 2034. This saves the Dodgers a ton of money. Because of inflation, $70 million will be worth a lot less in 10 years than it is today. The Dodgers are saving $24 million a year by being able to defer this money. This extra $24 million is enough to pay the salaries of some of the best players in baseball. Theoretically, the Dodgers could use it to pay Fernando Tatis, Chris Sale, even Ronald Acuna Jr. makes less than $24 million a year. But the biggest benefit for the Dodgers is that $70 million is no longer on their actual payroll. MLB has a competitive balance tax. If a team's payroll goes over $241 million, they get penalized. This is put in place to stop rich teams like the Dodgers from spending an ungodly amount of money getting every single good player to come to their team and win the World Series every year because no one else can spend as much as them. These penalties can become massive. Any dollar a team spends over $241 million gets taxed 20%. However, if you exceed this limit 2 years in a row, you get taxed 30%. And if you pass this limit 3 years in a row or more, you get taxed 60%. Shit! By more than 20 million, you add another 12% surcharge. If you pass it by 40 million, there's a 42.5% surcharge. If you go over by 60 million, there is a 60% surcharge. That's on top of the 20 to 60% tax you already paid. Having to pay Otani 70 million while also having to pay 39 other players, including big salaries like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Yamamoto, etc., pretty much guarantees the Dodgers will be over this tax every single year by a ton. Meaning, if they wanted to sign Corbin Burnes this offseason, his projected $250 million contract would actually cost the Dodgers $500 million. A team could sign Max Fried for $170 million this offseason. The Dodgers would have to pay $340 million. Juan Soto is projected
That's just off taxes.
over $600 million. If the Dodgers wanted Juan Soto, they'd have to pay over $1 billion on just one player. This would essentially eliminate the Dodgers from signing any big-name free agent. However, thanks to Otani deferring 97% of his contract, only $46 million of his $70 million contract actually counts towards this threshold. On top of that, Mookie Betts deferred $115 million, Freddie Freeman deferred $57 million, Will Smith deferred $50 million of his contract, saving the Dodgers millions, and avoided a 42% tax altogether by doing this. So after being the first team in history to sign the #1 and #2 free agents in the same offseason, they were also somehow able to afford all-star pitcher Tyler Glasnow, as well as all-star left fielder Teoscar Hernandez on top of that. He also, by the way, agreed to defer some money. So even while having the highest spending offseason in history and having all of these massive contracts, the Dodgers somehow, technically, only had the 5th largest payroll in baseball this season because of referrals. This doesn't mean the Dodgers can avoid taxes altogether. They will be over the first threshold for years to come. They're used to this. From 2021 to 2023, they were over it every year and paid a combined $84.5 million in taxes. Even with the deferrals this season, they had to spend $88 million in taxes this season alone. Yes, the Dodgers spent more money in taxes to MLB than the Athletics spent on their entire roster combined. But the Dodgers can afford to do this. They've led the league in attendance 10 years in a row. They've virtually sold the same amount of tickets
That's just LA money, bro.
than
I don't
the
know.
entire first year of the Taylor
insane.
Swift Eras Tour. They have a TV deal worth $8 billion. They make $334 million a year just from showing their games on TV. Their TV deal is so massive because they're in LA. Being in Los Angeles brings them a ton of extra revenue because LA is the second largest market in America with a population of 12.5 million people. On top of that, they just unlocked a new market in Japan. It has 125 million people, 10 times more than Los Angeles. The Dodgers also just won a World Series. According to research done by Sabre, a team in a massive market like the Dodgers likely makes over $100 million when they win a World Series. But this is based on MLB revenues from 15 years ago. MLB revenue has doubled since then. So, based on that, the Dodgers could have made an extra $200 million plus from winning the World Series this year. Meaning, this offseason, like last offseason, the Dodgers have a ton of money to spend. Out of the top 5 free agent pitchers, the Dodgers are listed as potential suitors for all of them. They are most likely going to get one, if not multiple, of these 5 pitchers. And perhaps the most frightening option is Roki Sasaki. He's thrown...
If they get him, mind you, bro, that motherfucker's a demon. He could throw over 100, I think. If they get him, fuck, it's gonna be a scary sight for Giants, bruh. We're never gonna sniff a fucking World Series. Not only that, the rest of the MLB teams, bruh.
Fastest pitch in
Fuck outta
Japanese
here.
history. Had an ERA under 2 at 19 years old. At 20 years old, he threw a perfect game with 19 strikeouts and struck out 13 batters in a row. Known
Demon,
as
I'm telling y'all.
arguably the best pitch game in Japanese history. And his very next start, he threw 8 more perfect innings before being pulled for having a high pitch count. His insane numbers still aren't quite as dominant as Yamamoto's were, but he's only 23 years old. Now he wants to come to MLB. If you leave Japan before 25 years old, you are required to get paid a league minimum salary with a signing bonus that can't exceed somewhere around $6 million. Sasaki is worth around $300 million in the open market,
Holy
but whoever
shit.
gets him will only pay around $6 million, making him by far the best value deal this offseason. If Sasaki's team allows him to go to MLB, all 30 teams will want him, but all 30 teams have to offer him basically the same contract, meaning his decision is strictly based on what team he would like to play for the most. If he goes to the Dodgers, he will make significantly more off the field money compared to any other team. He will be able to play with 2 of his Team Japan teammates and have a chance to win a World Series right away. If Sasaki comes to MLB this offseason, in all likelihood, he's going to the Dodgers. The
No, don't go to the Dodgers. Go to the Giants, please.
Dodgers could get a $300 million.
Oh my, bro, if he were to go to the, bruh, wait, hold on, bro, because if he were to go to the Giants, mind you, bro, we got Jung Ho Lee, bruh. What you know about Jung Ho Lee? That motherfucker's in Korea. If he comes to the Giants, bruh, and becomes rivals with Otani's Dodgers, cinema, bruh. Hold on, bruh. I want to knock you. Hold on. I got my bet on the Giants. He comes.
Pitcher for
I
the
ain't
price
gonna lie.
of a utility player, leaving them with money to spend on another free agent. They could easily sign 2 of the top 5 free agent pitchers this offseason because everyone wants to go to LA. Last offseason, the Giants and Blue Jays gave Otani the same offer as the Dodgers. He chose LA. The Mets gave Yamamoto the same offer as the Dodgers. He chose LA. Less than an hour after losing the World Series, Juan Soto said, quote, "It's a tough game to be my last. I'm available to all 30 teams." This is just common sense negotiating that every player does. Make it clear you're willing to go to another team, even if you aren't putting pressure on your current team to make the best offer possible. However, Dodgers free agents seem to want to stay in LA so bad, they're doing the opposite. Free agent Jack Flaherty said, "I never want to leave," multiple times. Teoscar Hernandez was in tears at the parade, later saying, quote, "I'm going to do everything in my power to come back." Walker Buehler says he wants to stay in LA as long as they'll have him. These guys are voluntarily giving up leverage to stay on the Dodgers. Even Red Sox closer Kenley Jansen has been publicly stating he wants to return to LA where his career started. Corbin Burns, the #1 free agent after Soto, has tweeted 6 times in his life. After the Dodgers won the World Series, he made this cryptic tweet, making it seem like he wants to play for the Dodgers, who are 100 miles from where he grew up. They have unlimited money, yet players are willing to defer money or even take less money just to play there. And the scariest part is, without money or any of these expensive players, they'd probably still be World Series contenders. Because when it comes to analytics, evaluating talent, developing talent, and taking terrible players and turning them into all-stars, the Dodgers are probably the best. Max Muncy was a career 195 hitter. He got cut by the A's, came to LA, and became an all-star. Chris Taylor had an OPS under 600 on the Mariners, came to LA, became an all-star. David Price was old and washed up. He went to the Dodgers, they changed his pitching style, put him in the bullpen, and he had a 2.45 at 36 years old. Blake Trident was released, came to LA, became an all-star. This year, Michael Kopech had a 4.74 ERA on the White Sox. He came to the Dodgers, they adjusted his pitch usage, and he put up a 1.13 ERA. Ryan Brazier, Anthony Banda, Evan Phillips, Alex Vesia were all terrible for other teams, were either released or traded by those teams, all came to LA, and all had ERAs at 3 or below this season. The Dodgers are basically the Moneyball A's with $1 billion, playing in the biggest market in MLB with arguably the best player in baseball history, as well as 3 other MVPs, and are looking to add even more. Their dynasty is just beginning.
Fuck! That was a crazy ass picture, by the way. This dude, what the fuck? What y'all think, bro? I'm not gonna lie, bro's low key fucking spitting. I think it is the start of a dynasty, and we're just gonna have to suck it up, bro. I feel like they'll be good for like 5 years, and that's it, bro. And for SF Giant fans, fuck, bro, it's gonna be a tough few years, but fuck it. We're just gonna have to hope and pray we get like some studs, bro, some crazy talent. Some crazy hitters, tie shit. Anyways, comment down below what y'all think. It's fuck the Dodgers, by the way, and I'll catch y'all, boys.